Broadcasting live from Studio 3 at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, you're watching Stallion TV.
Welcome to Stallion TV for Wednesday, October 18th. I'm Blaine Mitchell.
And I'm Anthony Basin. Thanks for joining us here at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. Before you realize it, this semester will come to an end and spring semester will be in full effect. That means it's time to schedule a meeting with your advisors now. For more info on the class registration, Stallion TV, Hunter Holton reports.
The process of registering for classes affects each student differently, fitting a schedule to their own day-to-day life. We asked an advisor, Dr. Jay Baldwin, about what students should be considering in forming their schedule.
You got to do the work. You got to spend time thinking about what classes are being offered, what classes are that you want to take, right? And figure out how that fits into, the rest of your schedule. I don't know what else you can do. It's a big old long list of classes. You have to figure out which ones to take.
Dr. Baldwin also discussed some conflicts that could arise when making your schedule.
The conflicts arise from a number of different, competing goals, from administration to when classes are offered, students' personal schedules. So the list of conflicts is longer than we have time for in a short interview. The only way to avoid them is to do more long-term planning. Think 2-3 semesters out.
Registration for spring semester will be open on October 23rd. For Stallion TV, I'm Hunter Holton.
Students with any further questions on scheduling the spring semester should see their advisor as soon as possible to meet the registration date.
ABAC's Career Center is updating Thunder's resume, which means it's time to vote on what his new major should be. But before we decide, Stallion TV's Kinsley McKinney takes a look at what some of our students have decided they'll pursue as their major.
We asked some students here at ABAC what their major is and what they plan to do with it.
So, what's your major?
Rural Community Development.
Why do you want that major?
Because I wanted to become a child life specialist and work with children in hospitals and help them not be afraid of procedures and things that might happen to them when they're hospitalized.
What's your major?
I dual major in writing, common history, government.
And what made you want to do that?
I want to go into law.
Law? Right.
Despite the name, Abraham Baldwin Agriculture College goes beyond just green fields and pastures.
All right, and what's your major?
My major is agricultural communications.
And what made you want to do that?
Well, originally I was doing crop production, but that was like way too much like math and science, so I stuck with agriculture communications so I could then go work in small communities and communities that don't have many ways of getting food and teach them how to do permaculture, which is better than a row crop.
As you can see, there's plenty of opportunities here for any major. For Stallion TV, I'm Kinsley McKinney.
A voting form should have been sent to everyone's student email recently if you'd like to participate in the tradition. For any questions, you can talk to Rachel France in the Carlton Center, room 310.
It's been cooling off here in Tifton over the past few weeks. But is this nice fall air here to stay or just a fluke? Here with a breakdown on the weather is Stallions TV, Jesse Lee.
Well, Anthony, I wouldn't put away my flannels and hoodies just yet because it looks like this cooler weather might finally be here to stay. We got the highs this week staying in the low to mid-70s, with the low temperatures reaching 48 degrees earlier this morning and spiking at 57 degrees Thursday morning, before leveling out into the low 50s for the rest of the week. We got a small chance of rain throughout most of the week, but be sure to pack your umbrellas on Friday because we'll be having a whopping 50% chance of scattered showers. And Sunday's looking to be dry, but mostly cloudy. Back to you, Anthony.
Well, you heard it from the man himself. Jacket season's here to stay, whether that be a fall jacket or a rain jacket.
I hope you dusted off your cowboy hat and chaps this past weekend because ABAC hosted another rodeo on Saturday. The ABAC arena was completely packed out this weekend, with rodeo fans coming out not just from ABAC, but all over Tift County. The rodeo features some impressive horse riding, hair-raising bull riding, and a very peculiar tuxdown dance. The evening concluded with ABAC's own Tracy Brundage making a personal appearance, sporting her very own cowboy hat. ABAC is no stranger to hosting rodeos, so if you weren't there for this one, be sure to keep your ears peeled so you won't miss the next one.
If you need a break from the hustle and bustle of life on campus, it might do you some good to take a walk through nature. Stallion TV, Jesse Lee, reports on one of the best places to connect with the great outdoors.
Nestled a few miles outside Tifton in Enigma, Georgia, Paradise PFA is a fishing and outdoor area that is open to the public. Here, you can find opportunities to fish, camp, and even bird hunt. I spoke with Dalton, an ABAC student, about what services of the fishing area he uses the most.
No, I pretty much use Paradise for everything it's offered. I do archery, I come here for fishing, I bird watch, I use the trail that's over there. It's a very nice trail. I think that's most of what you can use it for, other than walking, but I use it for all uses.
Whether you're looking for a place to fish, have a nice picnic, or just brush up on your archery skills, Paradise PFA is open to any student on campus. Paradise Fishing is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for anyone with a valid hunting or fishing license. For Stallion TV, I'm Jesse Lee.
For any student who doesn't have a fishing license yet, you can apply for one at georgiawildlife.com.
Over fall break, there were several events that took place in our community. One of them was the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which a lot of our fellow Stallions attended. Stallion TV's Mia McGirl asked different participants why they showed up for this cause.
The walk took place on Saturday morning in downtown Tifton. Around 150 participants showed up to help support the cause. I asked a few participants why they believed this walk was important.
This is super important. A lot of people here have loved ones that have been impacted by Alzheimer's, so it's really important that we try to help them find a cure to end this awful disease. We have a bunch of groups here today, especially from the ABAC campus. I know we have AGR, we have the ABAC ambassadors, we have Sigma Alpha and Alpha Sigma Alpha, and so many more amazing people came out to help us today.
I also asked the director of the walk what exactly Alzheimer's is.
Alzheimer's is a debilitating disease that makes you feel like you have no hope. Takes away your memories, takes away your cognitive function, takes away your motor skills, and you can't even speak anymore most of the time at the end of Alzheimer's. So I'm here to be a voice for others that can't speak, whether it be my family members, my patients, or just the general community.
While this walk raised a lot of money, ABAC's own Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity donated $5,000 to the Alzheimer's organization to help find a cure.
Okay. For Stallion TV, I'm Mia McGirl.
We love to see ABAC students getting involved with the community, and we at Stallion TV would like to offer a huge thank you to AGR for that very considerate donation.
Adjusting to living in dorms can take some time for students to adjust to. Let's see what students have to say about dorm life. Stallion TV, Quentin Rawls reports.
I'm Quentin Rawls and I'm back with Stallion TV and I'm here with Kent,
Wyatt, Mike,
Ian. And what would you change if you had an option to change in the housing situation?
Definitely probably living on campus because you can be around the more college life better, but the stables is okay, but yeah, that's what I would change.
If I could change one thing, honestly, probably having your own bathroom. Like, it's not bad sharing it with someone, especially if you do show it's clean. So like, I have no problem with it, but it'd be nice to have my own. I have to agree with YT right there. Just basically having your own bathroom, especially if you're just someone like stay yourself. That's it.
I can't really say too much anything for on campus living, but as far as like guys that live in the stables, maybe actually giving them a meal plan. Because I know some guys that live in the stables don't get to eat at the caf, and you know, it's kind of hard being in college.
With that being said, ABAC is a really good place to live, and I would recommend for any upcoming high school seniors to come here. With Stallion TV, I'm Quentin Rawls.
If you're having issues within your dorms, don't hesitate to contact your local RA. You know, speaking of class registrations, what do you guys plan on selecting next semester?
I'm thinking about taking a chemistry class next semester.
Pretty good. I'm personally thinking of going up to advanced broadcasting myself.
You know, I want to do advanced broadcasting as well, but I also want to add in some history as well.
Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us today for Stallion TV. I'm Blaine Mitchell.
I'm Jesse Lee.
And I'm Anthony Basin. We'll see you next Wednesday with more news from Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College.